Many of you know the story of Sisyphus from Greek mythology, but I'll sum it up for those of you who don't. He was a nasty king who tricked lots of people and gods, and when he's finally caught, Zeus punishes him by making him roll a boulder up a mountain. But every time he gets near the top, it rolls back down, and Sisyphus has to try again. I'm sure if you've ever played a video game, at some point you felt as if you were undergoing a Sisyphean task. You fight your way uphill through hordes of bad guys, only to get killed near the end of the level, and you have to... Back in the olden days of video games, this was a prominent feature of almost all games. Fortunately, the medium has moved beyond this paradigm to a certain extent. Most games, their checkpoints are much closer together. Some games have hardly any penalty for failure. But even those games, they have trial and error. See, if there's a goal, there must be some kind of conflict or challenge to reach it. And learning to overcome that challenge, that's a source of entertainment in a game. Learning is the key word here. See, if there's learning, there's necessarily the possibility of not learning, which means there's always the potential for failure. And failure is meaningless without some kind of consequence or penalty associated with it. See, I think no matter how far we try to distance ourselves from the Sisyphean task, video games are always going to have this element of, repeated attempts. At least, that's my line of reasoning. And that's why the gameplay plot of games and real-life sports games as well are really boring. Learning means repeated attempts and failures. It's repetitious, it's unedited, it's inconsistent. But to the person actually playing, it's really fun and rewarding. To the person hearing the narrative, it probably isn't. And I think that's why game developers feel the need to apologize for that by throwing in linear edited storylines to try to hide the fact that games are a repetitious learning form of art rather than a passive linear edited form of art. But let's get back to Sisyphus. While the plot is not captivating, the theme is. The story resonates with us because, it interests us because we've all been there before. We've all felt this way. So even though Sisyphus was a jerk, we empathize with someone forced to do such a horrible, never-ending task. But unlike Sisyphus, games are designed so that after learning to overcome the challenges, that's right. We can achieve success.